In this video, we will discuss the basic difference between vector and raster, but before discussing the difference between vector and raster, it is important to know the basic of a pixel. So, we have briefly discussed the definition of a pixel in a video. You can find the link to that video in the eyeball or in the description below. The smallest element of graphics is pixel set, and there are subpixels in a pixel. Any picture, video, etc. In short, all graphics are made up of thousands and millions of pixels. What is the relationship between a pixel, vector, and raster? Let's find out what a vector and raster are. Suppose we have a white pixel and its subpixels are red, green, and blue. Now let's scale it up. Let's increase the pixel area. As we scale it up, its area size increases, so all its colors start to scatter. Let's assume that all the colors start to become thin and dull. If there is such a file, it is called a raster. Or raster files do the same. There is a very big relationship between resolution and raster. Resolution means how many pixels are there per inch. The more pixels there are per inch, the better the quality of the raster. Vector. What is a vector? If we increase the pixel area, the colors don't become thin and dull. And they don't merge with each other. Vectors are not dependent on pixels. Vectors are dependent on points, shapes, and curves. Now let's see how vectors and rasters pixelate or not. Photoshop creates, produces, and edits rasters. We have drawn this line in Photoshop. And we have drawn this second line in Adobe Illustrator. Since Photoshop's file is a raster, it is pixelated like this. The colors have merged with each other. And this file is a vector, which is drawn in Adobe Illustrator. It is zoomed in at 3200%. And this is zoomed in at only 600%. Still, it is pixelated. It is dull. It is not clear. It has reduced its quality. Now let's see which software produces vectors and which software produces rasters. This is the software that produces raster files. Photoshop, Artweaver, Painter, Corel Painter, Affinity Photo, and PaintNet. These are the software that produces vector files. Corel Draw, Adobe Illustrator, Affinity Designer, Inkscape, Sketch, SVG, Edit. Now let's know the names of different vector and raster files. The names of raster files are JPEG, GIF, PNG, TIFF, Bitmap. And the different names of vector files are AI, SVG, EPS, etc. If you want to know how to convert a vector into a raster and a raster file into a vector, we will make a video on this. But let us know in the comments below. See you in the next class.